In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make your BMW have perfectly flush wheel fitment, all while improving your handling with only a $40, $50 upgrade. So let's go ahead and get straight into the video. And so now you might be wondering, what does Izzy have inside this box that's so cheap and can fix his fitment, make it perfectly flush, and on top of that, give him better handling? And what I have inside of here are wheel spacers. And so what a wheel spacer is it's basically a metal disc that sits on your wheel hub that pushes the wheel further outside of the car. And what this does effectively is give your car a wider wheelbase and a lower center of gravity, so it's able to hug around corners even better. And it's a quick way to make your wheel fitment look a million times better, because instead of the wheels being sucked into the car's body, they're actually going to be pushed out, and it'll look nice and flat and flush against the body of the BMW. And I've already addressed it in other videos, but you can see I already have wheel spacers installed on my BMW. It's the reason why my wheel fitment looks so flush. You can see here at the top, it's pretty flush with the body of the car. It doesn't look super sucked in, and overall it gives my BMW a way more aggressive track-like stance. And coming around to the rear of my E92, you can see the same exact thing. My spacers in the back of the car are making it so my wheel fitment up at the top is extremely flush all the way across the board. And like I said, what these spacers are doing is pushing the wheels out. That way I have a wider wheelbase. And I've had these on for about a year or two, and I can personally attest that my handling is way better because of it. So here's a better angle if I show y'all that my wheel spacers here are pushing the wheels out. So you can see the bottom right here is pushed out more, and right here at the top it's extremely flush. And overall, I get better handling because of that. And it's such a cheap upgrade to do. It honestly is a no-brainer. It's probably one of the first things that I did on my E92 when I got it to give me better handling and better wheel fitment. But now what I'm going to go ahead and do is put a jack underneath the car and actually lift my car up in the air so I can remove this wheel. And so anytime you're removing or tightening lug nuts for your wheel, you want to go in a star pattern, just like this. Now with the torque loosened from the wheel, we're going to go ahead and slide my jack underneath the jack point. And so here's my beat up jack point right here. So we're going to go ahead and slide the jack right underneath, and be sure that you're not pinching your side skirts. You want to put the jack point right in the middle of the jack pad. And now we'll go ahead and start to jack the car up. And now that we have our tire completely off of the ground, we'll go ahead and actually remove the wheel. And then once we have only one more lug nut holding the wheel in place, you're going to put your hand on the wheel itself. That way, as you remove the lug nut, the wheel doesn't fall off. Now we'll go ahead and remove that last lug nut and pull the wheel right off. So this here is my actual wheel spacer. And like I said, I already had some installed on my BMW, but every year I check them for any sort of defects, and I go ahead and just replace them just to be kind of preventative. So let's go ahead and remove it, and I'll show you exactly what it is. Bam. And all the spacer is an aluminum or steel piece that sits right on top of the hub. And so you can see here on the text 5x120, that's the bolt pattern for the BMW. So the spacing in between all of these bolt holes is 5x120, and then this thickness is 15 millimeters. So this is 15 millimeters thick. And so what I recommend is you guys use 20 millimeter spacers in the front. You can see them right in here. And then use 15 millimeters in the rear. And this is what I found that gives the best fitment overall for my BMW. And the reason being is the rear wheels naturally sit more outwards. So you want to go a little bit smaller on the rear. So you can do 12 millimeter spacers in the rear and 15 in the front, or you could do 20 in the front and 15 in the rear. Both of those setups have proven to give me the best fitment overall. So yeah, let's go ahead and swap out and install our new wheel spacers. Sweet, and here they are. Go ahead and pop that open, and they're pretty well wrapped. You can see both spacers are actually wrapped individually, that way they don't bang up against each other. So let's go ahead and take that out, and oh yeah, brand new and shiny. And you can see here the size, 5x120, 15 millimeters. And yeah, they are very lightweight and brand new. And you can see if we hold it next to the old wheel spacers, they're the same exact size and thickness. And then if we stack them up on each other, you can see that the bolt pattern is completely identical. So now let's go ahead and swap out the old with the new. Now the best way to install these is to just set them on the hub, because it's going to be pretty hard to get brand new metal to be fully flush against your wheel hub. So just set them down on the top and then make sure you're lining up the lug nut holes. So once these are lined up, don't even worry about fully pressing this down, because once we fit a lug nut into here, it'll actually go ahead and push this whole spacer flush against the hub assembly. So just line it up just like that. The holes, sit it on top. If you can't get it all the way flush, that's perfectly fine. So now we can go ahead and just put the wheel on straight over the top. Our kit came with a whole bunch of brand new lug nuts. You cannot use your OEM factory lug nuts to fit these spacers on because they're too short. You have to use the new included lug nuts because they're actually longer, and that'll allow this spacer to actually sit in place. Do not use your factory BMW lug nuts. You have to use the brand new longer ones that are included inside of the little kit here. Now remember, we're gonna hold the wheel in place and then go down, star pattern, and install the next. And then like I said, inside of here, as we tighten the lug nut, you're gonna see the wheel spacer start to seat itself onto the hub. And so now we'll give our wheel one final tighten, and then let's go ahead and relieve the pressure off the jack. And now with the wheel on the ground, you're gonna go ahead and torque the wheel down again. So we're gonna retighten all of our bolts. And that right there is how you install a wheel spacer on your BMW to give you way better fitment and improve your handling overall. And I want you to look right here down along the side, is the top of the wheel is nearly perfectly flush with the body of the car. And you can see our actual tire now at the bottom sticks out a lot more, and overall it looks way more aggressive. Installing wheel spacers on your BMW can overall improve your handling because it widens your wheelbase, which allows you to have a lower center of gravity and hug around corners even tighter. And not to mention, your wheel fitment will look perfectly flush once you install these. So overall, for the $40–50 it costs to install wheel spacers, it's worth every single cent, and they're super easy to install. And if you get a good brand, you don't have to worry about any safety issues whatsoever. If you guys found this video helpful, go and smash that thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions at all, and I'll be sure to answer. And as always, I love each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all so much for all of the support, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. And by the way, we just hit 6,000 subscribers. Love y'all.